So there was another Chevy Bolt fire on May 1st that not only destroyed the car, but also much of the owner's house.
The owner of this 2019 Chevy Bolt had charged his Bolt in his garage to 75% state of charge and then unplugged it. So this fire appears to have started in the middle of the day while the whole family was at home.
Now, luckily, everyone got out unharmed, but they suffered hundreds of thousands of dollars of damage, and the family won't be able to return home for at least 6 months.
This Bolt was bought brand new and only had 19,000 miles on it. It had not been driven that morning, and it had been unplugged for several hours when the fire started.
Now, GM told Electrek that 4 of the 6 Bolt fires that happened last year had started after the owners had driven the battery down low and then charged up high. So GM's temporary fix had been a software fix to only allow the batteries to charge to 95% state of charge.
The owner of this Bolt had already done that fix and had gotten the recall notice in the mail that morning.
And I just want to talk about what if this had not been a Bolt but had been a Tesla instead? I mean, we had to kind of scour the news sources to get you the story. If this had been a Tesla, I gotta believe it would have been national news.
And this is just such a bummer for me because I like Bolt owners, right? They chose to drive electric. Bolts, just by the fact that like GM doesn't have very good marketing on the Bolt and that the dealers don't know what to do with it. They're just trying to get them off their lots. Really good deals on Bolts. This sucks for Bolt owners because now you're worried that you have a firebomb sitting in your garage where your garage is sometimes the only place that you can charge something. So now you're going to have to what? Go get an extension cord. What if you put in a level 2 charger?
I'm really worried about this data point because up until this point, I was hopeful too that basically maybe if you just limited the batteries charging that you could solve this problem. If this is true, if this owner really had done what he said, and I think he did, then why did this battery catch on fire?
And this to me is just like, you know, GM, you subbed this out. You subbed out this whole powertrain basically from battery to motor to tire practically. And this is what you get for it. You didn't do your due diligence. And it's not like, you know, this guy was at the drag strip. Right. It's not like he was, you know, racing the car or was going on the highway going way too fast and crashed into something. No, he had it parked in his house. He had put 19,000 miles on it. This guy was not some crazy driver.
And it gives all EVs a bad name now because, you know, when this story does make it to the average person, they're just going to think EV's bad.
Right. And it's really unfortunate. And also this fix that they did, you know, this like, oh, we'll reduce the range fix. Really not cool.
No,
first of all,
I think if you're a Bolt owner, you should get, you know, a lawsuit going, a class action lawsuit and say, look, we don't want you to just fix it with software. We want a new battery pack.
Right. Now, I know that basically the recall, there's 2 recalls. The first recall is to bring it in, nerf your battery pack to say, oh, you can't charge high, which already sucks. Then the next one is they take in your car, do something to it to look at the battery, and then decide whether or not the battery needs replacing or not.
My guess is that there's a certain batch of parts, I don't know if it's the battery or some other part like the BMS that they know is bad or could be bad, and that they're having to check it, and it probably takes a long time, to, you know, hours in the shop to check it. But like GM, speed that up. This is an example of why you cannot leave those cars out there.
But for Bolt owners, are you really going to trust GM that they did their due diligence? That they didn't just like, oh, you know, here's what we do at the GM shop. We take it in, we wait 2 days, we hold it for 2 days, and then we give it back to them. Okay, there's your car, Mr. Whatever. We didn't have to do nothing to it. That, to me, I wouldn't trust GM to do that.
No, because also GM is doing a calculation. I'm sorry to tell you. They're going, oh, this cost a few $100,000. Well, let's do the math. Right. All right, well, we'll just pay it out when it happens.
Right. So I really do think that a class action lawsuit is needed here. I think that, I don't know, maybe all the Bolts should get their batteries replaced because how can you trust that the batteries aren't going to catch on fire? It would be one thing if they're like, oh, these people who had the battery fires, they were charging the batteries to full and then they were doing illegal stuff with it. They were charging their whole houses off of it and they would pulled off, you know, access panels and were, you know, connecting to battery terminals. That is not what is happening here. No. So to me, it's like if I'm the average Bolt owner, I'm worried. Now I have to, what am I going to do? Like either fireproof my garage? Am I going to have to, you know, leave my Bolt out sitting in the rain every single day? It's not cool. I do think that there should be some kind of lawsuit to sort this out.
Hey everybody, thanks so much for watching Now You Know Clips.
You can watch full episodes of Tesla Time News on Mondays and in-depths on Fridays. Just click the link down below to head over to the Now You Know channel.